So next is video games, right?
Yep.
And the first thing you have on here is something E3 related.
Yeah, right? It's not that far away, really, if you think about it. It's like
Is it not?
It's June. I mean, it's 6-7 months away, but, we're at the halfway point here. Through a story in Variety, and then later on through, I think, their blog, Sony announced that they are not going to be participating in E3 2019. They're not going to... Their booth space is up for grabs for anybody that wants to pay for it. Mm-hmm. They're not doing a press conference. They're not doing an off-site event like EA has been doing. They are doing nothing in or around the area of E3, period. Which is fucking insane.
Yeah, when I heard about this, I was like, wow, they're like it's Sony and Xbox. They're like the major players here. Oh, and Nintendo. You can't forget Nintendo.
Of course not. But I know what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Like, it's crazy, But Nintendo does have their own thing. PlayStation has their own thing too. Don't they have the experience or whatever? Or is that something different?
They didn't do that this year, though. That's the other thing they didn't do this year.
Oh.
They came out and said, look, we don't have anything to show. We don't want to waste our the gamers' time or the press's time and money to have them fly out. Because everything they have to show is
just games.
Death Stranding that's coming out who knows when. Last of Us 2, who knows when. Days Gone, which is coming out sometime in 2019 is all we really know because it got delayed.
Is that the one with the brothers?
Motorcycle. No.
That's thinking of a different one. Then.
Yeah. That was the EA game that came out called A Way Out that came out.
That's what I'm thinking of. Okay. Yeah.
Which we need to play. We need to get and play that because I think you and I would really dig that because it's a co-op only game.
Oh.
But yeah, it's their major things are already known quantities. And so here's the thing that I think it cracks me up about this. People are already like, oh, Sony, they don't care about the gamer. They don't care about this, blah, 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 blah. But they literally didn't do their PlayStation experience this year because they're like, look, we don't want to waste your time. The stuff that we would have to show you, we've already shown you.
If that's the case, then good for them. They could save money and put it into games.
And they're like, yeah, we could show you third-party stuff, but third parties are already doing that on their own. We don't really need to waste our time, your time, and our partners' time so they can bring a build of the game to a show for, a limited amount of people to see or play. It just doesn't make any sense financially for anybody. And now that they're out of E3, that gets my wheels going. And I start thinking of well, why is this a thing? Why are they not? There's been years before where they haven't had anything to show, but they still maintain their presence at E3. One, because that was the old way of doing things. But now, I don't like the term E3 is becoming irrelevant, but E3 is becoming less of a trade show. So they don't need to go to LA and spend millions of dollars to bring, hundreds of people down and booth space for their partners and PlayStations on the floor for their partners to play their games or first party games because they can just push a demo to the PlayStation 4 and be like, play this demo, guys. Or they can have a live stream on Twitch or YouTube or whatever video streaming service you want to do.
True.
It's becoming... E3 is becoming an antiquated way of announcing video games. Sony and Microsoft proved that in 2013 when they announced the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 at standalone events in fucking January, 5 months, 6 months before E3. They didn't need E3 for that. And they don't really need E3 right now. But if they were to go to E3 and be like, here's our games, and minus Spider-Man, it's Ghost of Tsushima. It's the same 5 games from last year. Well, 4 now because Spider-Man's already out. And then people would complain, oh, they don't have anything to show. But when they're really literally telling you, guys, we don't have anything to show, so we're not going to do it. They're like, they don't care about us. They don't want to show us things. They don't have anything to show. They don't want to show Days Gone anymore because it's already getting negative feedback from people because it hasn't come out yet. And Sony Ben has been working on this game for 8 years, and this game hasn't come out yet. Last of Us 2, I think, is a 2019 game. I think that might have been said somewhere, but who knows? Ghost of Tsushima might be a 2019 game, but who knows? Death Stranding, that's not even real. I don't even believe that's
real yet. My hype is gone for that. I'm over it.
Mine is not.
I'm done with it. I don't give a shit anymore.
my anticipation is gone, But
there you go.
My hype level is still way up here for what Kojima's going to do next.
Or that's what I meant. My hype level's gone. I'm still looking forward to it, but my hype level's like, I don't give a fuck. Just let me know when it's out.
Exactly. Right? And that's how I feel in the movie industry when they announce things way too early. Like, when they announced The Dark Knight Rises like 3 years before with a fucking teaser trailer or whatever, 2 years before, it's like, well, why? You literally just showed me the bat symbol slowly zooming in on a camera and a Joker laugh in the background. That's all you did. Did you have to do that? But was it the most watched video from Comic-Con that year? Yeah. Was it the most pirated thing from Hall H that year? Yeah. That's why they do it. And Sony's just, now they're going to control their messaging. But yeah, this would be like Marvel going, hey guys, we don't have anything to show, so we're not coming to Comic-Con.
Well, I think they didn't come to Comic-Con once.
Exactly. That's my point. People didn't freak the fuck out about that like they are about Sony not coming to E3. But we'll see what happens.
So say like everyone else, like they have their own thing. They got D23, and then Nintendo has their directs, and PlayStation has their experience. So I think you're kind of right about the whole E3 kind of.
Xbox just had their event last weekend, XO18, which some stuff came out of, but I didn't really think that was that big of a deal. There's a game coming out that's apparently being worked on by, and the wording of it made me think of, okay, so this guy must have been irrelevant. It's like one of the co-founders of Irrational Games, or one of the creators of BioShock. And it's like, well, it's not Ken Levine, because if it was Ken Levine, they would have said, hey, yo, this is Ken Levine. But it's a guy that was, part of the team, building blocks and helped build that game and that company with Ken Levine. But I don't know. Microsoft they announced a bunch of video game studios they've purchased. They're gearing up for their next console. And that's what
it seems like.
I think Sony not going to E3 is them doing the same thing, but them doing it in like a much quieter way, because I really think that Death Stranding, I think that Last of Us, I think that Ghost of Tsushima, I think that all those games that I mentioned, that's the only thing they have to show that they've already ran down our throats. I think all those games are going to be on PS5. And I think that they're putting their nose to the grindstone on hardware for PS5.
That's my assumption when they said that.
PS5. Yeah. And I bet you next December or January of 2020, we get I bet next December there's a PlayStation Experience, because that's usually when it is. And I bet they announce PlayStation 5, and they announce it for fall of 2020. And here's all the things that are coming to it on release day.
That would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because when I heard about this, my first thought was like, oh, they're working hard on the PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
So they don't want to, put resources out where it doesn't need to be.
Right.
That's my thought.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought too.
So like all these people complaining like they don't care about the.
Yeah, and then
like they care because it sounds like they're working on something big.
And if you read the internet and you talking about Jason Schreier a couple weeks ago and how he's a guy, he's talked about how people have dev kits for PS5 already. Colin Moriarty has talked that he says, I know people at studios that have told me we got hardware for PS5. We know what we're working towards. So it's shit's real, man. It's actually the console itself doesn't exist, but there are boxes with hardware in them of what they're shooting for PlayStation 5 that people are developing on right now. And if you have from now until fall of 2020, you have a good year and a half. 2 years to make a game, you're good.
Yeah, man. My first thought was that they're working on something bigger, and whether it's a console or maybe a whole new game, whatever it may be.
Right.
Like there has to be a good reason for a company not showing up like that, especially a ginormous company like that. Like I said earlier with Marvel,
right. And to be clear, that was Marvel Studios.
Studios, yeah.
That wasn't Marvel Comics. That didn't go to Comic-Con. But very similar thing.
Yeah, I'm happy. I mean, it sucks that they're not going to be there, but at the same time, it shows that they're working hard towards something.
And the thing that's really interesting is to see what Microsoft is going to do now.
Yeah, it's their playground.
Because now, I'm not going to say they don't have anybody to compete with, because Nintendo. But
yeah, Nintendo could come in.
I think it's Microsoft that will get their floor space and have more shit there and have more announcements. And I think they might say too much before they're ready to, because they feel like it's our floor now. We have to.
Yeah. But yeah, that's some big news for sure. and it surprised the hell out of everyone.
Yeah, it did. It definitely did. And I definitely heard a lot of different conflicting things from people, whether they thought it was a good thing or a bad thing. But
I see it as a good thing in my eyes, just because, like I said already, I've repeated myself. They're just saving resources.
Oh,